Don't you have to go to a funeral after this?
I'm very sad. I did not want to chug a whole Guinness right there.
Your eyes are already glassy. That's what's funny. Like your eyes are already. You're like, let's go. That's the second time you do that. It's I remember my first encounter with beer was at a baseball game, Texas Rangers, the original ballpark in Arlington. Mm-hmm. So someone from like 2 rows above me spilled their beer, and it got all over my feet. And I remember just that smell, so that like kept me off beer for the longest time.
My first encounter with beer was my uncle drinking 18 Knickerbockers at Knickerbockers at Thanksgiving one year.
True story?
Yes, and calling everyone assholes.
Really?
And throwing my aunt's Delmonico potatoes out the window.
You know what's funny is you...
So that kind of made me go, beer? Don't think so.
This is the second time you brought up Knickerbockers. This is the second time you brought up Delmonico potatoes.
Knickerbockers and Delmonico potatoes. Yeah.
I don't know what those are.
They're, she cubed up the potatoes and it's just like cheese. It's like, it's like Kraft, honest God, it's Kraft macaroni and cheese.
With potatoes.
But instead of the pasta, it was cubed potatoes. But I hope she never sees this, but some of them were not cooked. All the way through, so they were really hard. But then she did do the breadcrumb crust on the. They were fluorescent orange. I think it was Velveeta.
We're not doing a holiday episode, but like, what was the big holiday for you? Was it Thanksgiving? Was it Christmas? Was it another holiday?
Yes.
All of them were?
Thanksgiving was big in New England because it's kind of like every year, like
the birthplace of our nation.
Well, the birthplace of, yeah. No, but
we hate this country. We want to get away from. What are you going to call it? Well, it's the New England.
Yeah.
We still like the name.
Yeah, but the Canadians did do much better. You know, Nova Scotia is New Scotland.
New Scotland.
So anyway, but it's a lovely place to visit, by the way.
It's also a more Latin name.
Hashtag Halifax.
What made Halifax?
What made a Halifax?
No, Plymouth Plantation. It was like the, you know, like Colonial Williamsburg. They had Plymouth Plantation is in Massachusetts, and it's right down the site. They have a little like a gazebo around Plymouth Rock. They actually, Plymouth Rock is like, you know,
we didn't land.
It's not
upon
exactly
Plymouth Rock.
really.
Plymouth Rock landed upon us.
What?
That's a quote. Show it.
We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. The rock was landed on us.
I did not know that. Yeah. Okay. But they do it. They said, let's make that rock so tourists get a picture of it.
Oh, really? There's not like...
But Plymouth Plantation, we used to always go there, you know, on field trips in schools. So you'd go there and you're like, this is how we used to churn the butter.
Don't do
that meme.
Mm-mm.
What you need to do is up, turn, up, turn.
I apologize, but at least I use 2 hands. Generous meme. Kids, if you're going to do a meme about whacking off, make it generous. 2 hands. Take it to the bank.
Like a pepper shaker. Like, I never thought of it.
Is that fresh ground pepper?
My favorite is just Google people coughing. Which is hours of entertainment. Have you seen it?
No, but I can
put up a picture of just like a collage of images from people coughing.
Yeah, and then
here's the voice.
Here's the voiceover. Oh, he loves it. She can't get enough. Oh. Anyway, what is going to happen, everybody? Nolan North, Troy Baker. We're here at Retro Replay once again, and this is again.
What is he doing to that
Never
knob?
played this,
dude.
I mean, I've been a fan of The Simpsons for the last 75 years that it's been on the air.
Yeah.
Actually, it was on before televisions were invented. Did you know that?
There was no television. This was a variety show that they did in vaudeville theater.
Yes, they did. With puppets.
All original cast.
Yep,
Still
puppets.
Original cast.
Yep, I believe so.
180 years ago.
That's right.
179.
Set in Springfield. And do you know why they use Springfield?
Because it's a nondescript town.
But no, I believe there's a Springfield in just about every state in the United States, except like Hawaii. There's not like a Spring Honolulu. or anything like that. And my wife happens to be from one of them, Springfield, Missouri.
Springfield, Illinois.
Springfield, Massachusetts is where the Basketball Hall of Fame is. Little side tidbit.
Can't wait to go there.
I bet you can. And Springfield, Wyoming is where you can go fuck yourself.
God.
I'm Homer.
So, oh boy, you're just jumping straight into this.
I don't know how to do it. I'm pretty.
All right, so
by the way,
you
you know this thing confuses me.
Yeah, you should be familiar with it now by now. So look at this. Oh no, Maggie! Maggie gets the diamond from Smithers.
A voice of Homer Simpson is
Dan Castellaneta.
Who was in last week's episode as?
Look at that. He was also Earthworm Jim.
Or as I like to call him, Earthworm James.
All right, so you just, immediately start punching people.
Look at the bird. The bird's sleeping.
This is the arcade version. There's multiple versions of this, but I mean, I remember seeing this. What was it? It was like pink and green and purple. It was like that lovely palette of Simpsons. So you're fighting.
Why am I fighting the guys in the purple? That guy hates purple. Hi, how you doing, kid?
Look at that. This is great advertisement for the game in the game. The Simpsons new game. I think there was another game though before.
Oh!
Your life is going.
I don't know what to do.
Looks like Phil Kensington has a
Look at this. Am I going in here? Can I go in here? No.
A sale on pet shops. Pet Shop Boys.
I don't know what anything on the. Oh, this jumps. What is that? So I just have 2 buttons then.
Well, we're gonna get to the point where.
Oh, I see.
We jump in and do some co-op. Those guys are very large. Man, I remember. This was one of my arcade go-tos.
Sorry, you're talking and I can't hear you over the button mashing. I'm so sorry.
Button mashing.
It's a fire department.
Did you do the Homer Simpson? Was that one of your impressions?
No, I never did. Never did. No! Everybody did the dough, but I never did any of those things. I remember. Have you ever gone to a table read? I've actually been to a table read.
A Simpsons table read?
Yeah.
No. Dude.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Well, a friend of mine from way back, Chris Edgerly.
Yeah.
Chris Edgerly ended up becoming one of the utility voice. Oh, I was gonna hit a girl. Oh, can I eat that?
Good gig.
Uh-oh. What is that? Look, he's dropping his crotch on me.
Gotta remember this. He does a lot of the utility voices for it, so it's like the main cast as the majority of the characters. Isn't there like they got rid of who's not on the show anymore?
Hank Azaria?
Hank Azaria. Is it Hank Azaria? Or
Did Hank leave? I don't know. I thought they listen. Do you know that they were making so much money? I can't imagine anybody would ever leave that. Oh,
I've gotten this far. No. Who am I thinking of?
There's Harry Shearer.
Harry Shearer.
He thought about leaving, but then he realized that would be throwing away a repulsive amount of money.
Gajillion dollars.
It would be like just walking away from an inordinate amount. Hit buttons.
Interesting.
What do I do here?
You want to go? You want to blow up faster than everybody else? Good job.
Oh, I can do big head shit. I can do big head shit. I can do big head shit. Come on, come on. Oh, and I'm the winner.
You're doing very well.
I want to pass this to you. Because I feel like you have things to say, and I can't hear over this thing.
So you handed the person who can talk. Go for it.
This here, kids, is called growth.
All right, stage 2. Go ahead.
May I?
I would love for you to.
While Troy plays, I shall read the. Mr. Burns and Mr. Smithers. Yes, Smithers.
A handsome sum that can end this little imbroglio once and for all.
Steal a diamond, or to run in with the Simpson family, and who can forget, Marge and Homer, Bart and Lisa, little Maggie, who happen to be walking down the street at the time of the robbery, results in Maggie. That's a little one that sucks on pacifier a little too long, if you ask me. Been 20 years she's been that thing in her mouth. I mean, she's gonna make her popular when she gets older.
Shopping. It's the most fun you can have standing up.
May I?
It is. Yes.
I laugh every time because like Traveler's gotten really good with what he calls it his rah-rah, his pacifier. He only has it when he goes for naps and stuff, and then in the morning or after his nap, he's like, all right, dude, you want to say Douglas is his giraffe, his best friend, and his Passy is his rah-rah. And I was like, all right, you want to say goodbye to Douglas and say bye to your rah-rah? And he goes, bye-bye, and he puts the Passy in his in the crib. And I say, okay, say bye to Douglas, and he goes, bye-bye, and he drops Douglas into the crib. But when he does have the Passy in his mouth, it sounds exactly like Maggie. It's hilarious. Is it that sound? Put that sound in there.
Whoa, okay, that's enough for now.
That's exactly what he sounds like.
So, while my 19-year-old has given up on his pacifier, we still have the Lovey.
Do you really?
Oh, both my kids. Doesn't matter.
I can't keep one for more than a week.
You know, I'll never forget this. We had a dog that ate mine.
Oh.
I had a little thing, and it tore to pieces, and I was really upset.
The dog made it?
The dog, oh man, I didn't think the dog was gonna make it, but it did. Anyway, Maggie's using his diamond as a pacifier. Suck, 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 Mr. Burns. Okay, Mr. Burns kidnaps Maggie. That's going to send him to prison, federal prison, a long time. I don't care how much money he has. Kidnaps Maggie because she's sucking on diamonds. This was a plot of a porno at one point, I think. The family gives chase, as they should. It's a baby. They battle across Springfield against various goons until they end up at the nuclear power plant for a final showdown with Smithers and Burns. One of your favorite Smithers line.
Go.
Mr. Burns line, excuse me.
Go ahead.
Smithers, release the hounds.
Brew, good day. Smithers, release the hounds.
Release the hounds. Release one red Wiesler. Should I release all the Wieslers, sir? No, just one red Wiesler.
I have a very interesting connection to, there we go.
I will be the judge of that. Go.
To,
this makes me smarter.
The Simpsons. At one point in my life, my vocation was close. I didn't have the legs for it.
But you do now.
I was a DJ at a gentleman's establishment.
Yes, you were.
So, people are like, oh, dude, like when you're, dude bros and Chad's coming to you, like, oh, dude, you get to look at like boobs all day. Like, yeah, man, that wasn't my vibe. That's not what I was into. So I also controlled all the video monitors and stuff in the club. So I was looking at like Sports Center and, CNN, what people really were watching at a strip club. And there was one monitor that just went to where I was, and because you couldn't have like 25 sources for like 20 TVs or whatever. So I would put on The Simpsons. I couldn't wait till like it was 5 o'clock, I think is when it came on.
Wait.
Go ahead.
You're in a Texas strip club
Yes.
surrounded by beautiful women and their bare breasts.
Yes.
And you watched cartoons?
Yeah, dude. You worked at a bar? You ever work at a bar? Surrounded by liquor, and all you wanted to do was just drink all day?
No, I wanted to look at titties all day. The liquor just happened to be in my sight.
Oh, dude, this is like from Life in Hell. These are characters from Life in Hell.
We have broken every rule. We have barbecued the principal, destroyed the PTA.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Killer rabbits.
No, I didn't want.
Real, but I guess that.
It's like, man, it wears on your soul, man. Like it was not a good place to work. It's not a good environment to be in all the time. You could smoke there, and so it was just like it smelled like smoke. It smelled like shame. And people in 2 o'clock in the afternoon getting drunk and in fights and stuff. It just wasn't cool. So my little solace was being up in my DJ booth and watching The Simpsons. And a lot of times it was without sound. And so I had this really weird, like, visual only or closed captions of like, and I would literally have to do my job, which is like I'm watching like, Bart, steal the head off of, the town statue, whatever. It's like, and doing it for you right now, tops out on the main stage. This is the Madam of Mystery. This is Enigma. And like, playing something else, like that song would finish. And there was a couple of times when the song would still be playing, and I would completely forget. I was like, oh my God, it's like some Crystal Method remix or whatever. The poor girl's been on stage for like 7 minutes. She just screamed at me like, get me off stage! I was like, oh, sorry.
And you had just become immune to it.
Yeah. Just didn't.
You know what? It makes sense because I read a study recently that The Simpsons is also the favorite show of gynecologists everywhere.
They'd rather watch that than just like look at vagines.
That's right. They get home, they're exhausted. They're like, honey, how's your day? He goes, ugh, I'm bushed. It's a dirty dad joke. Because you see, back in the day, vaginas had hair.
Back in the day, vaginas had hair. When was the day? That was the Thursday, I believe.
There's a lot of times, like the gynecologist back in the 70s was also a barber. Let's just clean this up there, Denise, and see what kind of infection you have this week. Because Denise was the town bicycle where everyone was riding it. Okay, back on with the glasses. The voice actors actually in this.
The voice actors.
The voice actors in this kind were also Don Castellanetris, Nancy Cartwright, Julie Kavner, and Yearly Smythe.
Julie Kavner.
Do you know Julie Kavner was the highest paid actress? She was the most famous actor when this show started. This is true. And a lot of people don't know this. She got percentage of merchandise and rights because she was the name when the show started.
Julie Kavner? What did she come? What show had she
Julie
been
Kavner
on?
had done. She had done a bunch of movies. Everybody else had was kind of unknown. Julie Kavner said they were like, she actually got points and percentages on merchandising, everything. She's probably the wealthiest next to woman.
Seinfeld?
No, the woman who married Albert Brooks, the James L. Brooks, who's divorced from Tilly. Jennifer Tilly was married to James L. Brooks.
Jennifer Tilly was married to Albert Brooks?
James L. Brooks.
James L. Brooks.
Who's the creator of, and when...
Well, he was the executive producer of the show. He wasn't the creator of the show.
But anyway, he was a big money man, and she was married to him and left, and she got about $500 million or something. God.
Jennifer Tilly did?
Yeah, and she's also a tremendously good-looking woman.
I was such a crush on her.
Jennifer Tilly. People said, "Oh, but the voice." I'm like,
that's not her real voice, of course. That's total affectation.
Yeah.
And
I always liked her.
She is a wicked poker player.
Is she really?
Wicked poker player. Oh yeah, dude.
Like our friend, Nika Futterman.
Nika
Futterman, amazing voice actress, and
just professional
poker player. And yeah, I think I saw her recently. About a month or two ago at a session she was doing. I said, I didn't know you were doing it. She goes, I got a place down in Vegas. I go back and forth and do my stuff. But yeah, I love to play.
She always has a seat at the finals.
Yeah, she's like for real. And by the way, salt of the earth, one of the best people I know. She was actually one of the people who really encouraged me
to play poker.
No, no, took all my money. That bitch. No, in the voiceover world.
Really?
Because I had been just doing on-camera stuff, and up to that point, and I did a couple of jobs with her. We had the same agency, and she was like, "You're gonna do fine. You're gonna do fine." And she actually said, "By this time next year, you're gonna make X amount of dollars." I'm like, "There's no way I'm making that." She said, "You watch." By the next year, I had, and she said, and I told her, I said, "You were right." She goes, "You know what? By next year, you're gonna make this much." I'm like, "You're out of your mind." And guess what? And she was right. No,
how much you want to bet you make this much next year?
I'm like, keep going up, Nika.
You know what I like about Nika Futterman? Is her choice in hats. She has a great hat game.
She's got game. She's
cool. I want to be as
she's
cool as
cool.
her.
She's one of the coolest. I don't know who this is. I really want to get. I want to get you to stage 4. Bleeding Gums Murphy.
You know,
makes
Bleeding
an appearance.
Gums Murphy. Come on.
Do I?
Oh, Lisa, honey, music comes from what's in your heart.
Yeah, dude. Bleeding Gums Murphy was a.
I don't think I know who that is.
One of my favorite episodes is the one where Bart goes to work for Tony Fat Tony and the Mafia.
I do remember that.
He hasn't received his weekly payment for keeping McDonald's and Burger King out of town.
Well, I mean, amazing, the people that were in this show.
Dude,
I mean,
just the cameos alone, man.
Kelsey Grammer, right?
I remember, like, think of the bands that have been, like Radiohead, Aerosmith. Oh, yeah. There's been so many people. Hurry up, don't you tell me what to do.
What about,
I'm crushing this game, by the way. I also
one of my favorites. My favorite was, what's his name? The guy?
Bobcat Goldthwait?
No, Bobcat wasn't it, but Barney. Hey, Homer!
That's Dan Castellaneta.
I know, hey, Homer, I did the burp.
Farewell, my long-necked friends.
Yes.
That was a funny one.
Let's do a little. This reminds me of Plants vs. Zombies.
Moe's Tavern. My God, still don't know how to say Matt Groening. Matt Groening. Who also did Futurama with our buddy John DiMaggio.
Indeed.
Thank you. Okay, thanks. Settle down.
Do you remember the original comic, like Life in Hell?
Yes, I do.
That's where my introduction to this was, and then I remember Tracy Ullman, the Tracy Ullman show,
that's right.
where, this thing started and became a little interstitial that they showed.
Yeah, that's right.
And boy, the animation was the shits.
Yeah, but the thing is, it didn't matter because it was always good. Because I just remember the 80s. It was like if you saw a kid wearing an Eat My Shorts T-shirt, it was disrespectful. Like seriously, the
You
people
can't wear that.
No, like there was. You remember? I don't know if you remember this, but like in the 80s, when this started out, they thought, he's a punk little kid, and that's, what do we take? This was like kind of animation. Like, this isn't cartoons. This is rude. What are they teaching kids? And it's violent. Remember the Itchy and Scratchy would just be super violent and.
But I mean, that was the whole point of Itchy and Scratchy. Don't have a cow, man. Itchy and Scratchy on the show was pointing out that the ridiculousness of violence in T-shirt. Like, it was a kind of satirical commentary in itself.
Well, that's true.
The fact that it was this kids show where they were murdering each other. There's Tom and Jerry satire.
But we were talking about the demise of Mad Magazine. And remember, Spy versus Spy was that way. But the Spy versus Spy was one of those early things where
two people just destroying each other the entire time.
Yeah, but one would always get the upper hand on the other. And I don't remember if it was always white. Or I think there was equal.
Always, but
because that would be seen as incredibly racist today. If you're like, yeah, the white one always kills the black one. That's terrible.
I mean, I think the people that ran Mad Magazine, rest in peace, man. That's weird. That's like an American institution.
I loved Mad Magazine. I got to do the show when they did
Mad TV?
No, Mad Magazine. They did a Mad Magazine animated show, and I got to do a bunch of different episodes of that. But I remember going to get the hard copy of Mad Magazine, and my biggest thing is like they had a thing in the back. It was a trifold, and it would look like one picture, and then you trifold. But I mean, I used to go and get my dad had this.
Pornos.
He had pornos. He had these Hustlers, and I saw the filthiest thing. And my mom was in one.
Let me tell you something.
Oh, God.
It was a beautiful, beautiful issue.
Your mother was in the magazine.
That's right. She was in the magazine. Here's what happened. It was a December Christmas issue, and Santa just brought out that Yule log. He had a Yule log, and he shoved it in my mother. Filled up her stocking. Elf come. No, she's a beautiful woman.
That's what eggnog is.
Point is. That's what eggnog is. That's called a button. And it's delicious.
It just devolves at any given point.
I'm kidding. Love you, Mom.
And so do I.
This is what happens when you chug a Guinness at the top of the episode.
And look, it magically refilled.
There's another one. It's a novelty cup.
I loved Mad Magazine. I would get that trifold thing, and my dad had a ruler, like a metal ruler, so I would get the line as tight as I could so it would be really clean. And I made the best folds of any boy in the neighborhood.
Do you remember, like, Mad Magazine? I feel like there's this whole part of Americana, like Spencer Gifts.
Oh yeah, I remember. I was like, "Can I go in? Can I go in?"
You felt like you were gonna get carded whenever you walked in.
I think we talked about this. They had the pens, and you go over and you
Turn
look
over,
around,
and the
turn over, and the girl would get topless, and you. I mean, that was naughty. And now it's like, hey, I just Googled donkey punch, and my aunt fucked a donkey. You got a donkey punch aunt, and then
you'll see it. I remember going into bookstores, and there'd be the magazines, and there would just be porn magazines right there.
Were they in the plastic bags?
Yeah, but then there would be some where like they wouldn't be in the plastic bag, and so I would just go over there and be like, "Oh, BMX magazine," and just casually just thumb a page. I was so active. I could not wait to look at porn.
I got you beat.
Go.
I used to go in. I'd get like, "Oh, hey, Sports Illustrated." Oh, and then grab that and put it in. And all of a sudden,
that little boy over there's whacking off to the Daily Fisherman.
Hey, now that little boy over there with the guns and ammo, I'm worried about him. Why? Because he's got a raging heart on.
He's just getting after it. And I don't know what that is. Where we're, if that's like a that's trimming the fat, and that's kind of like there's a culling that happens. That we need to kind of lose a part of us. Like, you shouldn't have porn magazines mixed in with like BMX. Like we talked about in that one episode, to where we kind of need for there to be. You don't need to look at that too young.
No, but
if you
that's
want to look
why
at porn, that's fine.
But you know what? I'd rather go back to those days. I mean, I'm not going to get on my soapbox again, but I'd rather go back to those days where you had to, it was stealth, and you had to work for that. Now it's just like beep boop beep. Look what I'm looking at.
Everything that I've ever wanted to know. Everything I've ever wanted to see, could possibly think of.
Everything you didn't want to see.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes some of the images that I come across on a daily, hourly basis.
Even the ads.
Where was I?
The ads are the ones that freak me out. You're like banner ads on the site. You're like, God, why do you think I want to look at that?
The worst part is like if you ever sit there and you're like, oh, and then all of a sudden banner ads start popping up. You're like, well, I guess I'm going to the Android now. I need a new phone and a new identity. I'm moving to another state.
This is smashing.
I think it's completely different than what it used to be. It's just too. We won't get into it, but you go back to that other episode. And I think communication, that kind of stuff. And I know we joke a lot, but this is something that really has kind of bothered me with my kids because I'm raising young men.
Yes.
And we had a talk. So if you're a parent or anything, I think it's really, really important that people talk about that because it's not going anywhere. And you can pick it up on your phone. You can pick it up anywhere. And when kids can get access to that, it just warps the sensibility of what it is and that communication and it can be really great, but you gotta, real human interaction and real sexuality is completely different. Hold on, I need to see what's in there. Oh, there's another hot dog. That's nice. Let's go for it, man. You need some more health.
There should be a comment after that. I'm tired.
Most having.
All right, these guys. Oh, shit!
So, I was really looking forward to playing some two-player, but
there are people that are screaming at us right now because this game is so famous for being a co-op. It was one of the things where you can actually play as all four, and you can be like Lisa and Bart and Marge and Homer.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to try to do that.
Yeah.
And then
what happened? Tell everybody what happened.
In an attempt to plug this in, Drew may or may not have unplugged the game in the middle of it.
I'm going to go with May,
June, July. So, but I feel like we covered a lot of ground.
I think so too. What more can you say? Go watch The Simpsons. Go play The Simpsons. If your name is Simpson, not OJ.
I have to bring that
congratulations.
For not being O.J. Simpson.
If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. And they did.
They did, and they won
And
Emmys.
it was a terrible idea.
And it gave us the Kardashians.
Yes, it did.
Well, that was fun. We'll try to see if we can, because we can beat this game. So we'll just plug it in and let these people go about their days, and people in the UK go about their nights, get some sleep.
And the people of Siberia
go
get a blanket.
Get a blanket. It's very cold.
Very cold.
In the meantime, we shall ask you, what do we play next? You know what just happened? You just unplugged the whole thing.
You've knocked a wire out of the television.